Friday, February 27, 2026, AGNDD, Intelli Report topic. NASA astronaut Mike Fincke reveals it was his medical issue that led to unprecedented early mission end. Please pardon any visual and informational inaccuracies in this partially AI-generated article-based video. Astronaut whose medical issue prompted NASA's first early return from the ISS speaks out. By Jackie Wattles, CNN. Published February 25, 2026, 1:35 p.m. ET. Updated February 25, 2026, 4:14 p.m. ET. Veteran NASA astronaut Mike Fincke has confirmed that he was the crew member who had a concerning medical event that led to an early exit from the International Space Station last month. Fincke and his fellow crewmates, NASA astronaut Zena Cardman, Kimiya Yui of the Japan Aerospace Exploration Agency, and cosmonaut Oleg Platonov of the Russian space agency Roscosmos, returned home from the space station in mid-January, leaving behind a skeleton crew of just 3 astronauts to staff the nearly football field-size orbiting laboratory. The group's sudden departure marked the first time in history NASA had to cut short an ISS staffing mission for health reasons. At the time, the space agency did not disclose which astronaut had the medical concern or reveal the nature of the issue. Apart from publicly naming himself, Fincke did not give details about his medical condition. "I experienced a medical event that required immediate attention from my incredible crewmates," Fincke said in a statement on Wednesday. "Thanks to their quick response and the guidance of our NASA flight surgeons, my status quickly stabilized." Fincke said NASA determined the crew should return to Earth to take advantage of advanced medical imaging not available on the space station. The ISS is stocked with medical equipment, though it does not have all the tools a typical emergency room would have. NASA had said during the crew's journey home that the affected astronaut was in stable condition. But it's still not clear whether the medical event amounted to a life-threatening emergency or how Fincke's crewmates were able to address the issue. NASA has a long-established policy of withholding personal medical information about its astronauts for privacy reasons. Information about the impact of spaceflight on the human body or other medical concerns that occur during missions are generally made public as part of broader scientific studies and research. Previous academic studies have explored conditions such as space adaptation syndrome, an ailment characterized by vomiting and vertigo that is experienced by many astronauts during their first hours in microgravity, and revealed some in-space medical issues, including optic nerve swelling and blood clots, typically without naming the people who were affected. NASA's privacy protocol. After Fincke and his 3 crewmates, referred to as Crew 11, returned home, they appeared together at a news conference at NASA's Johnson Space Center in Houston. At the time, the astronauts declined to identify who had experienced the medical concern. But they said they did not consider their return to be an emergency and felt that the incident had exemplified how NASA's training and preparedness allowed them to make a safe trip back home. "How we handled everything all the way through, from nominal operations to this unforeseen operation, really bodes well for future exploration," Fincke said during the January 21st news conference. The unexpected medical problem set off a rapid series of events, as NASA canceled a planned spacewalk, quickly scheduled the group's return trip, and then worked to speed up the launch of the space agency's next staffing mission to the orbiting outpost. A group of 4 astronauts, referred to as Crew 12, arrived at the space station on February 14th, bringing staffing levels back up to 7 people, the number NASA typically desires to keep scientific experiments and other duties on track. "I'm doing very well and continuing standard post-flight reconditioning at NASA's Johnson Space Center in Houston. Spaceflight is an incredible privilege, and sometimes it reminds us just how human we are," Fincke said in a written statement Wednesday. "Thank you all for your support." Comments. Vader time. 22 hours ago, I mentioned this in a comment on space.com, and I'll reiterate the statement on this site. What happens when a similar medical situation occurs on the Moon? Unlike the ISS, which is in low Earth orbit at 250 miles, the Moon is about 240,000 miles away. So instead of hours, we are talking about days to evacuate an astronaut with a medical emergency. He or she might not survive that long if it's a critical medical emergency. What's Plan B? Do we build a hospital on the Moon or any other planetary body where shipping the stricken astronaut back Earth is not an option? CNN user 00Xi9. The early explorers had the same problem. CNN user N4TV8V 22 hours ago. May have been gallstones or kidney stones, which can be painful but not necessarily life-threatening. CNN user GNMGM0. 1 day ago, heart attack or stroke. CNN user I7E234. That was my thought too. Very glad he was stabilized in his home where he can continue to recover. Just say Mo. 1 day ago, extremely bad gas. Gutsy. 21 hours ago, planet fasciitis. Kilomole. 1 day ago, excellent news. I'm glad the health and safety of the astronauts is top priority.
Thank you for watching this AGNDD Intelli Report, dear viewers. Please like, subscribe, and click the bell button to get notified during new uploads. And make sure to tune in next time. Stay safe and healthy. Cheers.